200K, they told me the frost, rainbow face. They hope I fall off, ain't no way. I might be alright, but it ain't okay. I left, went right, I went left and stay left, and ain't nothing the same. They run their lips, I put my purple and step in my foot in the pedal of range. Spin it like I'm ahead of the game. You say they gon' drop and it better be flame. Lil' mommy gon' top, she gon' suck till I'm drained. My top 5 top in love with her brain. Her girls to see, Hatters and making those grease, man. Love me in Spain. He can pee. Land on the jet with a big body frame. Just like a biker, rocket black. Margiela loafers, the one with the lace. Put up the title, yeah, right. Don't think these little really wanna race. I got that fire, I spit crack. I got that face, gon' recite what I say. Hand me that lighter, this ain't no threats. This a blue Scotty, I smoke to the face. Made it to the light, they still throwing shade. You been hating way too long. Yeah, too long. About that. I'm with the AP, spent 200K, they told me the frost, rainbow face. They hope I fall off, ain't no way. I might be alright, but it ain't okay. I left, went right, I went left and stay left, and ain't nothing the same. They run their lips, I put my purple and step in my foot in the pedal of range. Spin it like I'm ahead of the game. You say they gon' drop and it better be flame. Lil' mommy gon' top, she gon' suck till I'm drained. My top 5 top in love with her brain. Her girls to see, Hatters and making those grease, man. Love me in Spain, he can pee. Land on the jet with a big body frame. Just like a biker, rocket black. Margiela loafers, the one with the lace. Put up the title, yeah, right. Don't think these little really wanna race. I got that fire, I spit crack.
Ha. What's going on, Caleb?
What's up? What's up?
I know I'm old, man. I have absolutely no idea who was singing that song or rapping that song. What's going on, man? We got one of our guys in the building today. Kaleb Evans has stopped by to bless the lost Letterman, man. What's going on, Caleb? How you feeling?
Feeling great, man. Feeling great. Blessed. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for joining, man. Thank you for joining. I'll before we get into what we're going to get into, man, I just want to congratulate you, man, on an outstanding career, man. You've had a hell of a run, man. And honestly, the way I view it, man, this is only the beginning of your run. So, man,
yes,
much
sir.
respect to you, much respect to your parents, and
thank you,
everybody who's gotten to you to this point, man. And,
yes,
and obviously, you got a team of people around you, but kudos to you for doing all the heavy lifting. So let's get into it, man. I remember I met you about 3 years ago now when you were a skinny sophomore, man, on a loaded team. You guys were supposed to win the state with Cam and Coulter Bell, and shout out to all those guys, man. Talk about you just going to Lexington and what your feelings were during that time. Because one thing that really stood out to me during that time was we were doing an interview. And you had just gotten to Lexington, and there were like 2 or 3 other guys on the screen, and you were like, man, I'm going first. I'm like, man, that guy's aggressive. So
yes, sir.
Talk about what it was like, first getting to Lexington and, some of the things you learned, especially your sophomore year and actually coming up short. I think it was against Dorman. But
it was against Dorman.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you to Coach Poe for just welcoming me into the program and all the guys. Playing with Cam, I feel like that actually helped my game a lot, playing with another talented guy as well. So that really helped me, grow as a player, grow as a person off the court, seeing what he was doing, seeing how he was working out. That really helped me, add stuff to my game, and just for Coach Pope, bringing me in, trusting me. I was the new kid on the team. He still trusted me to be the point guard, run the team, make the right call, do the right things. And, that's really all. Thank you. Thank you to Coach Pope.
So with that being said, how much of a transition was it for you going to Lexington? Because I know there was a lot, and Coach Pope pretty much kind of put the ball in your hands that first year.
He did.
And you guys had a monster squad, man. And I know, you were coming in and you were used to being one of the best players on the team. And obviously, you were a really good player and one of the best players on the team. You playing with Cam, and Cam was a national
yes,
leader at that time. How much of a transition was it for you at that time, learning how to run a team and also play with another really, really good player?
I was still running the team at White Knoll my freshman year, so it wasn't kind of a big transition. Like, I've always been a point guard, so those leadership skills have always been in me, so it wasn't like a new transition to getting there. With playing, I haven't played with a national ranked guy like Cam, so that was a transition, just playing with another guy that I know was going to make it to the next level, like where I was trying to get at. So, yeah.
Well, with that being said, I mean, talk about your junior year, and you have a lot of pressure on you your junior year, obviously, with Cam coming back and you guys coming up short. Talk about that year, and the pressure that you had in terms of playing a national schedule, but also what you learned in terms of ultimately winning that state championship.
Really, junior year, we really didn't have a lot of pressure. We knew we had to win the state, but like it was just like sophomore year. My sophomore year, we knew we should have won it. So it was my junior year summer. We just was in the gym all the time. We knew we was gonna get back to that game. We knew we was gonna have to win that game. It was really no pressure. We knew nobody in the state could really mess with us, on the court. So, and we had all the talent. I felt like we had the most talented team in the state that year. So we knew that when we got there, it was just going to be just another regular game for us.
Now, it's kind of two sides to the equation for you, especially. I mean, obviously Cam's there, and you're playing in front of college scouts, not
Yes,
only
sir.
in the summers, but during the high school year too, because Cam's got
Yes, sir.
all those scouts that are
Yeah,
coming in.
it
The
was a
scouts,
lot of coaches every day, in
yeah.
the
It,
summer,
and that's
every
why I
day.
say your move to because a lot of people talk about transferring and all that. Your move to Lexington really worked out well for you
Yeah, it
because
did.
what you were able to do was get exposure. Now, what you do with the exposure is kind of on you as a player.
Yes, sir.
You were able to get the exposure because you were playing not only on a national scene from an AAU perspective, but on a national scene from a high school perspective.
Yes, sir.
Obviously, the team was doing well, but how much pressure did you put on yourself to kind of play your best and for you to kind of get the looks that you felt like you needed, in addition to kind of running a team and being a good teammate?
I mean, it really wasn't that much pressure. Me and my dad work out all the time. So it was just like just believing in yourself. It was always just about like confidence with me. I knew I had the skills, I knew I had the talent. It was just about believing in it. And my junior year, I knew that nobody could mess with me. And I gotta still, instill that in me and still that's still some things I'm working on today, just the confidence and believing in myself and just trusting the work. And that was really it.
Now let's talk a little bit about that championship game. You guys, I believe you guys were playing Burns,
Yes, sir. We
and
played
Burns. I
Burns.
mean, they had a scrappy team, man.
Yeah,
And much
they're having a
respect
good year
to.
right now as well.
Oh yeah, yeah, they're
Sir.
having a really, really good year.
Yes,
And
sir.
much respect to Coach Lane up there and Burns. Talk about that game and what it felt like to finally, get that state championship.
We scouted them. We knew we was gonna play Burns. Like we knew we had to worry about, first round, second round, third round, all of that, but we knew we was gonna end up playing Burns. So our scout was just, contain the brother, I forgot his name. What was it? Will? I think his name was
Fowler,
Will
Will Fowler,
Fowler.
yeah,
Will Fowler,
yeah,
yeah, we
Will
just
Fowler.
contain him. He had a really good game against us. I'm not gonna lie. He had a
He's
really good
tough.
game against us.
He's tough.
And then some of the other guys that usually hit shots just wasn't their night. They wasn't hitting shots. So I don't know. It was just our night. Like everything was clicking. We was hitting shots. We was playing as a team. We was playing defense. We was talking. It was just everything was clicking. Like it was just meant. It was just meant to happen.
Now, the strange thing about that is I kind of felt like since you, Cam, and Coulter, I mean, even though you're a year behind them, I felt like that was kind of the culmination. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
sir.
Because you guys you had your struggles together and you
Yes,
had
sir.
your growth together. Did you kind of feel like that was kind of the end of a long journey for kind of that crew of
Yes,
people?
sir. We sophomore year, like I was just we knew we should have won it. So my sophomore year, we knew we should have won it. Like, I mean, Dorman was a good team, but we just thought we was the better team, and we just didn't prepare ourselves well, and we just did not want to have that type of feeling again. Their senior year, it was their senior year. Cam's been there for a minute. We had to get Cam a ring, and Coach Pope. So
Yeah, I remember what that Dorman. I just think they were a little more cohesive than you
yeah,
guys were because they jumped on y'all early, and it seemed like when you guys were playing from behind, it was more one on one, and you guys just didn't have the cohesion. And then that against Burns because Coach Fowler he had those guys ready to play.
yes, sir.
But again, I also think the thing that helped you all in the championship again, you played in so many big games.
Yeah, I
You know,
was just about to say that.
you
That
played so
national
many big games.
that national schedule Coach Pope had lined up before the state championship game, we was like, none of those Burns wasn't, you know, up there with them. We don't play it against national
Right.
guys. We went to City of Palms and we went to the Beach Ball Classic. We just played against so many top level guys and so many top level teams that it was just another regular game for us.
Talk a little bit about Coach Pope, and obviously I know they have a bunch of coaches at Lexington, but talk a little
Yes,
bit
sir.
specifically about Coach Pope and what he did for you, as in terms of, you coming over to Lexington and just indoctrinating you into the team and into the culture there at
Yes,
Lexington.
sir. I mean, Coach Pope was definitely a big part of my journey. I would definitely say that.
Mhm.
I probably wouldn't be in the position I am right now without Coach Pope, because me coming to Lexington and him giving me the keys, and while Cam is also there, I probably wouldn't be in the position I am right now without Coach Pope. So, thank you, Coach Pope. He's been a big blessing in my life. And
So you obviously end up signing with Winthrop, which is D1, and that's tough to do coming out of high school nowadays because, as you know, those offers are scarce.
yes,
Talk
sir.
about the decision to sign with Winthrop and how excited you are about what the future would hold for you as a Winthrop Eagle.
Winthrop just always been played the family role with me. I got hurt over the summer. I hurt my knee, and my recruitment kind of slowed down. Coaches wasn't reaching out to me as much as they usually was. But Winthrop just stayed there. They steady called. They steady called my dad. They got me up on a visit. It was just they knew what I could do. And they know what kind of player I am. So it was just a no brainer. It was like, if they gonna trust me, if they gonna believe in me as much as they are, then I have to, return the favor.
So with that being said, I saw you this summer, and I believe it was North Augusta or Augusta, one of those towns. So I saw you in summer with Lexington, and man, that team looked different. It looked different without Cam there, and not just Cam, but the rest of the guys.
Yes, sir.
Talk about what a different role you had to play in terms of kind of changing your mindset with a lot of guys who maybe were not as experienced. Not I'm not gonna say talented, but not as experienced as because it was a very experienced team that won the state championship. Talk about the difference that you had to make as and take more of a leadership role.
How to be a big leader. I was a leader my junior year where Cam and all of them was there, but I had to be even more of a leader my senior year. I had to do the right things off the court. I had to do the right things on the court, which I always have. But I'm just saying, everyone was watching me and what I did, so I had to make sure I was doing the right thing. Whether if I was having a bad game, I had to still, keep a smile on my face, because if I started to, frown or do any of that, then it was just going to reflect on the whole team. So I had to make sure that I had kept myself composed and just steady play my game and just be a leader for those guys.
How strange was it for you to score so much? Because I know that at your heart you can score, but I think scoring is not your main thing. Because there have been times a guy can score 30, but he comes back and say, I really didn't play that well. I might have had a lot of points, but I didn't play that well. How different of a feeling was it for you to be such a high volume scorer? Because I saw you had some 30s, definitely in the high 20s.
Yes,
so
sir.
how different was it for you to kind of take or shoot a lot more than probably, or be actually shoot a lot more than probably what you did when Cam was there? How different was that for you?
No, you got to be in shape to shoot a lot of shots like that and be consistent with that. So you got to really be in shape. My junior sophomore year, I probably didn't shoot as a lot of shots, but I think I was a big contributor to the team. But that summer I knew I had to come in and shoot a lot of shots. I had to not just shoot a lot of shots, I had to make a lot of shots if we was going to be able to win any of those summer games. So I just knew that I just had to be in shape, and I had to really just be in shape. If you're not in shape, you can't make those shots. And I promise you, when you got two guys coming at you every play and you're not in shape, that's
man, they double teaming me. They double teaming me. so with that being said, man, if you want to be in this basketball game, you have to make tough decisions sometimes.
Yes,
you got to make tough, and you got to live with your decisions. You got to live with your decisions. And there's a lot of noise, and sometimes you got to block that out. You just got to make tough decisions. You made a tough decision this year.
Yes, sir.
You made a decision to leave Lexington and go up to Moravian Prep, and obviously they've got Eli Ellis. Man, shout out to Eli Ellis. He came down to Columbia and just put some work in Columbia.
Yes, sir.
But you made a tough decision to leave Lexington and go to Moravian Prep. What was behind that decision, and how excited are you about hooking up with Eli and the rest of those guys who are up there and playing on a national stage again with Moravian?
It was just me trying to do what's best for me and my family. just being prepared for college, being prepared for Winthrop next year, body, just playing against Division I guys every day, even in practice. Eli is very talented. He's a very good guard, very good person. Playing against him every day in practice, I felt like that was just gonna get me ready for next year when I get to college. I didn't want to be behind. I wanted to be when I went to college. I wanted to be ready, and I wanted to be able to play as a freshman. So I just thought that was just gonna be the best opportunity. It was
Yeah, I mean,
no bad blood with Lexington or anything. Like I talked to Coach Pope, that's still my guy, and I still talk to the players on the team, and I still love everybody in the Lexington community. It was just what I had to do was best for me.
yeah, I know when that and thanks, sir. I know when that decision came down, I wasn't really that surprised about it. To be honest with you, especially seeing you guys this past summer. I'll say this about it, and again, it just is what it is. I'll say this. I think it was my own 2 cents. I think it was the right decision. The timing was not optimal.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The timing of the decision was not optimal. But in this current, and not just in this current landscape, you have to be fluid. You have to be fluid as a player. You have to be fluid as a program. And obviously,
Yes,
the
sir.
timing wasn't optimal. But I think it was the right decision in terms of getting you ready for the next level, which is Winthrop, and whatever is beyond that. So kudos to you
Yes, sir.
for having the gumption and the kahunas to make tough decisions, because as as we spoke about earlier, in life there are going to be a lot of difficult decisions that one has to make, and kudos to you for making that decision
Yes,
at
sir.
such an early age. So
Thank you.
much respect to you, Kaleb. Much
Yes,
respect
sir.
to you. So with that being said, man, bye Lexington. Here goes you with Moravian Prep. How
Yes,
excited
sir.
are you about playing with Eli? And I know you guys have a ton of people up there. And what do you think that's going to help you do specifically in terms of getting you ready for the next level of Winthrop? Because you're going to be playing with and playing against a lot of other college players.
Just working hard every day in practice, just knowing that your minutes are decided on, all right, who's had a good practice this week, who has did the most in practice this week. It's just not about being the talented guy, is who's going to help this team in a way. We already got scorers, we already got shooters, is who's going to do the things that nobody else wants to do to, win games. And I knew I was going to have to do that. When I get to Winthrop next year, I'm probably not going to be, the main scorer. It's going to be other guys there that can do exactly what I can do. So I got to learn to do things that other guys not going to want to do. I got to learn to do things that's going to help me make the team win. And that's all it was. I feel like I'm going to learn that at Moravian, just being on the college, schedule already, working out 3 times a day, weightlifting, eating the right food, being away from my parents. And I feel like I was just gonna have to do that, face a little adversity, because it's probably gonna happen. I'm probably gonna face some adversity at Moravian. I'm probably gonna, not play as much as I played at Lexington, shoot as many shots as I shot at Lexington, but I feel like it's gonna get me ready for the next level. Just go ahead and get my mind ready for the next level. And yeah, that's what I think.
That's perfect. You know what I would liken this to? You know how in high school, kids can it's football. They can graduate, play their football season and graduate and go ahead and go to college and start their kind of getting ready for the next year, in what would be the second semester of their high school year, but actually be go ahead on a college campus. I would liken that to the same thing you're doing in terms of go ahead and going to this route with Moravian,
Yes,
getting
sir.
ready for that next level. And again, the timing wasn't perfect, but hey,
Yes, sir.
man, these are big boy decisions. This is a big boy sport, and you got to be ready. You got to be agile. And to be honest with you, whoever that backup point guard is at Lexington, I would have been happy as hell. I would
Yeah.
have said, bye Lexington, bye Kaleb,
Yes,
bye
sir.
time to shine. But man, much respect to you, Kaleb, and we've definitely enjoyed kind of getting to know you and your family. Got a beautiful family, and all the people who are behind you. We've got enjoyed kind of getting to know you guys and your whole family structure, and all your supporters. Kind of one last thing you want to say, you want to give any shout outs in terms of people who have kind of helped you along the way, not only in Lexington, Columbia, or wherever they might be.
First and foremost, I just want to give all glory to God, because I couldn't do anything without Him. I wouldn't have my parents without God. So I want to give all the glory to God, and just my dad, my mom, for just pushing me every single day. my mom just being there when I needed someone to like talk to, my dad just being able to push me when I don't want to work out or when I want to do something, just being there to push me, my grandparents for always supporting me, always showing up to my games, my coaches, Coach Pope and, my coaches at White Knoll, my AU coaches, Coach Sam, a lot of all my coaches really, because everyone's played a part of my journey, whether, they like it or not, they have. And yes, sir.
Well, much respect to you, brother. We've known each other for seems like a long time. It's only been 3 years, but to be honest with you, this is only the beginning. This is only the beginning. And as I told you before we got on, if you didn't bounce another basketball, after today, don't shun what you've been able to accomplish thus far, man, because
Yes,
you have
sir.
really been successful. It really brought a lot of joy, not just to your parents, but other people there in Columbia and throughout the state and throughout
Yes,
the
sir.
region. So much respect to you. We're gonna keep in contact, as we always do. But man,
Yes, sir.
thanks for joining the Lost Letterman.
Yes, sir, Coach. Thank you.
All right, thanks.